Coco and Teal.
Welcome to another episode of Coco and Teal Speech Therapy. I'm Teal, this is Coco. Tongue thrust is an orofacial myofunctional disorder, which refers to the tongue pressing up against the front teeth or out between the teeth, like this, during a swallow. Tongue thrust also affects speech sounds, where the tongue should go up but instead goes out between the teeth. The causes of tongue thrust can be genetic or passed down through a family. Oral structural differences such as ankylosing or tongue tie, where the tongue is actually has a shortened frenulum and is more attached to the bottom of the mouth, or macroglossia, an enlarged tongue, can both cause this structural difference. In addition, actions like thumb sucking can also cause tongue thrust. This is an example of what a person's dentition might look like if they have tongue thrust. We exert about 4 pounds of pressure with our tongue every time we swallow. So in a typical swallow, the tongue should be reaching up and exerting pressure on the palate. If instead we're using this pressure to exert force on the teeth, this causes them to be pushed out. Tongue thrusts might be identified by a speech-language pathologist if there are associated articulation differences. Most often this shows up as a lisp, so sounds like sh, s, zh are, instead of being produced with the tongue up behind the teeth, produced interdentally or the tongue between the teeth. If there are no associated speech sound errors, often tongue thrust is only diagnosed by a dentist. Treating tongue thrust with your speech therapist will first involve identifying and correcting the cause of the original tongue thrust. So if your child is a thumb sucker, or if they are still using a bottle beyond the age that they need to, this is something your speech therapist can work with you on to correct. After the cause is identified and taken care of, speech therapy involves correcting resting position as well as speaking position of the tongue during speech and during swallows. So as I said before, our resting position for our tongue should be nestled cleanly in the top of our palate, behind the teeth, but not exerting pressure onto the teeth. The direction that the pressure of your tongue should be placing this force is up onto the hard palate. The hard palate continues to develop and form its shape until around 6 years of age. So as with so many speech and swallowing issues, this is something that's better taken care of earlier rather than later. Your child will likely also be working with a team of dentists and orthodontists to correct the dentition issues in their mouth, in addition to working on the functional aspects of speech and swallowing with their SLP. Thank you for watching another episode of Coco and Teal Speech Therapy. If you are a parent or a professional with some more info on tongue thrust, please drop a comment below. Thanks for watching. See you next week.